Hi, and welcome back to Aunt Coley's house. Today is a treat. We are going to make lavender syrup. You can do anything with this syrup. You can put it in cocktails, which we're going to make today. If you don't want to make the cocktail, you can cut out after we put it in these cute little bottles. But we'll make a lavender martini at the end if you'd like. So we have the sugar for that. We have blueberries to color the lavender syrup instead of using food coloring. Vodka, lemon juice. I bought some lavender buds. You can use fresh ones, you just need to use more. So since my lavender plant is not producing so much, I bought some of these, okay? They smell so good. They're organic. They're culinary. Make sure you get the culinary ones, okay? And we're going to use about 2.5 tablespoons for today's recipe. We're going to use 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water, plus about 5-6 blueberries to make it purpley color, okay? You'll need some cheesecloth to strain out the buds and what's left of the blueberries, and we'll put the cheesecloth over this. Let it drain out, and then that'll be easier for us to pour it in the bottles when it's cool, okay? And then when it's cool, we'll make the martini. Exciting. Okay, so let's start. We're just going to go to the stove, and we'll just on medium-high heat, we will dissolve the sugar into the water, okay? And after it's dissolved, then we're going to put the 2.5 tablespoons of the buds in there, lavender buds in there, and for about 10 minutes, we'll let that on simmer. We'll just keep moving it around. Not really great to let it boil. If it does, don't freak out, but just keep moving it around so that the sugar dissolves. And then for the 5 or 10 minutes with the buds in there, that you're getting enough for the flavor that you really want. Now, if you make this and the flavor's too much for you, then just decrease the amount of lavender buds that you want in there. If it's not enough, put a little more. And then you'll strain them out anyways. And this, using the 1-to-1 method, should stay in your fridge for about a month. If you use considerably more sugar, it can actually stay for a few months. Sugar acts as a preservative. So, and it can also be frozen. So it will work in the freezer as well. If you want to save it, make some, save it as gifts, or save it for later, okay? But right now we're going to go over to the stove. We're going to boil this, and then we'll add the lavender. So I'll just show this on the video, and then I'll meet you at the end when we make our treat. Okay, have fun, and I'll see you in about 5-10 minutes. Okay, we are at the stove. We put the 1 cup of water in our pan. I just let mine warm up in a little bit. You don't have to do that, but my crazy self, I do that. So I just let it warm up a little bit, and then you'll add your 1 cup of sugar, okay? Now, if you want to make less, you can do 3/4 cup of water, 3/4 cup of sugar. Just always do a 1-to-1 ratio, okay, for this particular recipe. Now, it's on medium-high heat. You're going to stir this. It's going to take a little bit to dissolve the whole thing, okay? And then after it dissolves, you're going to drop in your 2 tablespoons of the lavender. 2.5 is what I'm going to use, sorry. 2.5 tablespoons of the lavender. And towards the end of that 5 to 10 minutes, you can add the blueberries so you can get the color for it, okay? Okay, so you'll know it's done when it's clear, okay? Whew, that's hot. All right, so you're going to take this down to medium, and Put your 2.5 tablespoons of the lavender in there. Does not have to be exact, folks. Just it's however you like it, the flavor that you like it. So you can put more, you can put less, however you want to do it, okay? So now, set your timer because we're going to do this. Just going to do it for 10 minutes. Try not to let it boil. Okay? And we'll get a good lavender flavor in there. You guys, you can add this to your coffee. You can put this over ice cream. You can make this little cocktail we're going to make in a second. Anything you want. You can use it in your syrup for pancakes. You can mix it with your maple syrup. Or you can just use it alone. You can put it in lemonade. You can make a lemonade lavender popsicles. So much you can do. Just tastes so, so good. All right, so about at the 5-minute mark, I'm going to throw the blueberries in. And we'll let them go for about 5 minutes, and then we'll strain. So we'll let this go for a minute, and I'll meet you over at the strainer. Okay. All right, so we are back over here. We got our hot mixture right here. All right. So now you just got to get your cheesecloth ready. Now cheesecloth comes, well, however you guys got it, but I get the big piece. So you just take a single piece that's going to fit the top of this, and we're going to put a rubber band around it so that it doesn't fall into it, okay? So make your piece big enough for whichever container you are going to use, and then just cut, okay? All right, so there's our piece of that. And we're just going to put it over that, give it a little indent, okay? Then just take your rubber band. Put it over. Okay, just make your dent in here, okay? All right. Now we're going to pour this in. Give everything a good squeeze. Okay, now we just have to wait until this cools down to room temperature. And then we'll put it into the jars and we will make our drink, okay? So here you have this in your cheesecloth. Just squeeze it. It's pretty hot, be careful, okay? But a lot of your liquid is still going to be in there. So squeeze out as much as you can or you're going to lose, might even lose an ounce, you know, if you don't. Okay. That's where we're going with that. And we're just going to let this cool down to room temperature. I'm just going to put it in the fridge for a little bit and then we'll get back to it. It's good. We'll get back to it and then we'll make our drink, okay? We'll pour it into our cute little bottles. You're going to need some airtight bottles like these where you have the flip tops. These are like cute little milk bottles, but you can use anything. You can use the screw top glass bottles, but just use glass, and then you can keep it in the fridge. Okay, we're at the very end. Got it out. Just make sure that these are airtight and they're really clean. Make sure I put these through the dishwasher, okay? You don't want anything in there that's going to spoil this. And if you ever think that the smell is off, taste is off, just throw it away, okay? So just take these. If you don't have a steady hand, go ahead and get one of these little cuties, all right? You can throw that right in there or whatever bottle you're using, okay? We're going to pour this in here. All right. Snap her down. All right. Then we're going to pour it in the next one, but this one we're going to use as well for our little drink, okay? Okay, so you can use more or less. Just make sure that you are doing a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? Now, if you want a much thicker syrup, just go ahead and use the 1 cup of sugar and the 1/2 cup of water. And that one actually stays in the refrigerator, I think, for months. Probably stay in there for months because of the preservative effect of the sugar. All right. Yeah, I don't know why this guy doesn't want to work, but I'll fix that later. Anyway, okay. The most exciting part of the day, the martini. You can get a lemon from the store if you want. I did not do that, but if you're smart, go get a lemon, cut a wedge, and take the wedge and just slide it right around the rim of this. I'm just going to use my finger with my lemon juice. You're trying to make it wet so that it will hold the sugar on the plate. Or if you're fancy, you'll have like a bowl. But I'm not. So you put your lemon juice on the rim and then just push your rim around on that so it's nice and pretty and gets on there. Can never have too much sugar. Okay, should look like that, just on the rim. Really nice. Okay, now for the vodka, I usually keep mine in the freezer if you're going to have a martini. Sometimes I don't use the mixer, but we'll do the whole thing here. And a little shout out to Ireland for having our backs. So this is 2 ounces, and we're just going to pour the 2 ounces of the vodka in here. And then put ice in your shaker. Hopefully everybody has their own personal shaker at home. All right, you're going to pour that in there. Now, lemon juice is good. You can use fresh lemon too, since you're going to go buy that lemon for your wedge. And hopefully you have a little juicer. You can juice it, squeeze it, get the juice out. And depends on how sour you want. You can go a full ounce, you can go 1/2 ounce. I usually do just about 1/2 ounce. All right, you're going to pour that in there as well. And then your simple sugar, I kind of like that, your lavender stuff here. I'm going to use a full ounce of that because I like it. All right, put that all in your shaker. Put the top on. I don't know where my little cap is, but hopefully it won't make too much of a mess. So give it a good shake. All right. Pour it in your martini glass. Make sure you get it all. So good. All right. Thank you for coming to Aunt Colley's house tonight. Have a good one.